May the 20th heralds the beginning of the Ignatian Year. It will end on the 31st of July 2022. The extended year marks the 500th anniversary of the Battle of Pamplona and the subsequent conversion of St Ignatius of Loyola. His transformation led to a unique intimacy with God, which has inspired us all throughout the Society of Jesus to find, to nurture, and reflect on our own unique relationship with God. Today, more than ever, I am grateful for the relative safety and peace we find ourselves here in Australia. The work we aspire to do brings us closest to those in our international family who have experienced great darkness. May we hold especially close to our hearts those most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, those who are displaced, are hungry or in pain, whose freedoms are restricted, who do not see hope, cannot find work, do not go to school, or cannot see light in their future. The Ignatian Year is an opportunity for each of us to take time to reflect on the history of our present moment. Father General Arturo Sosa describes this process as tapping into our spiritual root, that spiritual source that feeds and nourishes us in so many different ways and places. The ideas and convictions that guide our work today have an origin story that we may revisit often so as to enrich the path we journey on in our community with one another, how we live and be with each other, and those we accompany and serve have been framed by the life and work of St Ignatius of Loyola and his commitment to see all things new in Christ. All those years ago, in his pain, solitude, and contemplation, Ignatius found his purpose through a journey of reflection and growing self-awareness. In so doing, he dedicated his heart and mind to articulating for the sake of sharing with others that which he believed would lead each individual to a transformative conversation with God. To have access to the spiritual exercises is a privilege unbounded. It gives the individuals, regardless of their status, a way of being purposeful in serving God in our universal apostolic preferences. As Jesuits and lay collaborators, we walk with the poor, the vulnerable, or those whose dignity has been denied in a spirit of reconciliation and justice. In reflecting on the UAPs, let us find our passion to do God's work. Ignatius so beautifully articulated this for us all those years ago, as he lay weak and adrift, trying to discern meaning in the face of all uncertain future. For this Ignatian Year, I encourage all of us to return to the simplicity and beauty of our Ignatian story, to ask ourselves the important questions with a renewed sense of purpose for the new world we inhabit today and into the future. I especially want to encourage each of you to focus not so much on its being a one-year journey, but rather a recommitment to a longer, transformative journey. With a renewed sense of purpose, let us reflect on the incredible spirit of St Ignatius of Loyola to draw us closer to the poor. My journey with God is unique, but at the same time, similar to many of you. I found my purpose in education. Youth is where life is. I found my life mission through my passion in working to provide young people in need with a quality education as well as a happy place to learn. I am often with young people. They bring a lot of life, a lot of challenges, but also a lot of energy. And through them, you see the purpose of a spiritual life. Father Arturo Sosa guides us into the Ignatian Year by addressing our youth. He says, "We want to learn to accompany you. We want to learn from you. Each one of you is unique, born with a special purpose." Ignatius struggled to discover the meaning of his life. In him, you can find inspiration as you struggle to make your life meaningful, and as you ask how you can contribute to building a better world, where the dignity of people is respected, and where you live in a joy-filled harmony with nature. I express our desire to accompany you through what we do, and most especially through who we are. People willing to share our time, our dreams, and our hopes. It is our young people who I hope will benefit the most from our collective celebration of the Ignatian Year. For in celebrating Ignatius' conversion 500 years ago, our hearts and our minds will be renewed to see that which brings us closest to our essential purpose, to serve God through serving others. Finally, I return to my sincere invitation to enter into a journey beyond the Ignatian Year and use this new source of collective energy to enter a period of reflection for the purpose of conversion to a truer relationship with God. In listening to the cry of the poor, the excluded, and those whose dignity has been broken, let us entrust ourselves to God's love in our journey of companionship and of faith in a hope-filled future.